Good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you from across the world. Really appreciate you taking time with Ian. Looking forward to this presentation today a lot. We will wait about 30-40 seconds until everybody shows up, but I'm super excited about sharing the good news in the area of extended reality, artificial intelligence, GPTs, etc. So we have something that I hope will excite you as much as it does me. And I think we are kind of 3 minutes in. So what I'll do is I'll do some cleaning. And you should be able to see my screen, right? If you see my screen, just Richie, if you can confirm in the text that everything we are go. Okay, it sounds like we are go. If not, you're welcome to ping me. Okay, I think we're almost there. So today we're going to talk about a world launch of something we call the virtual campus. And I guess this picture symbolizes what I think about the future, not only the future of learning and academic institutions, but future of learning across the world. Whether it's enterprise, whether it's lifelong learning, it's gonna change. And it's changing already quite a lot. Let's see, there's someone is pinging me here. So let's see if your screen is working. Yeah, thank you. Means that we're on. So I would say we almost have to hold into our chairs. Every day there's news regarding artificial intelligence, and sometimes we meet those news with excitement. Sometimes we meet this also with fear. And I am on the side of embracing this, obviously, and I'm on the side of making a difference. This is not a spectator sport. This is something that we are not sitting there with popcorn and watching what's happening and hoping it's going to be positive. It's up to us and you to make a difference. We know this technology will be used for things that are not so good, things that we don't want necessarily, like look almost like Terminator, where machines do bad things, or things where they take social media in the wrong direction. So this may happen, but if we work together, and if we believe knowledge is a human right, which we happen to believe, then we can make this technology available, accessible, and affordable for everybody. So we can have a more informed world. Our kids, ourselves, we can continue to be curious and learn throughout the life, and we can make a difference. Together with AI and using these new tools in order to pursue a meaningful life and prosperity. Okay, that was my little political speech there. I hope you don't mind. But now we're going to shift gears to something much more tangible and much more, I hope, exciting. So first, just before we get started with the presentation, there's a lot of news coming out. We have now, I'm the first one to announce EON XR 9.8 and what's new. Now it's official. You can do in-depth training. You can take your materials, your curriculum, your handbooks in text, feed them on a Friday to our platform, and it converts in 22 minutes. Our AI will learn everything about that. And come Wednesday, all your materials are in extended reality, even faster than that. For now, it takes a little while, but it's going to go very fast. In fact, with what I'll show next slide, it's happening instantaneously. The second thing is that we've been working a lot with hard skills, right? How you explore the anatomy, how you disassemble engines, or how you do different things that are very tangible. Hard skills. Now we are launching officially soft skills, and that tailors to your skills, and you can body a real-time persona for various scenarios and provide personalized feedback. The third thing is interact. This has been a bit of the holy grail. Most people that wanted to go to extended reality, they hit that barrier where they can't really create interaction because it requires programming. And that's where Eon Interact comes to help. You can just voice, rotate. We have something we call touch and go, and we took that to the next level. And finally, Jeopardy. This is a new way to assess. We went to the play mode and we created much more assessment than we had before. So now you can really have a fun, interactive method to evaluate your knowledge and skills throughout the whole game-based approach. Okay, so these are some of the news. And perhaps the most exciting, we all seen the GPTs. And Eon has been working behind the scenes to use GPT. So very soon, you'll have with you GPT-2XR. So you can go to GPT today, and you can turn those texts that you write into immersive 3D experiences. And you can do a lot of things. You can actually create new experience with voice commands. You can explore the physical world with XR. So you can look around in an augmented reality, identify an item, let's say a flower, and it will tell you what the flower is, what's the name. It will show you and guide you and assist you in the physical world. That's what we call GPT Explore XR. GPT Role Play XR is all about soft skills. So we took the soft skill functionality, and now you can, through your GPT, access that. And then GPT Library XR is tapping into the thousands and millions soon of library items that are there. Now, what does this mean and how does this work with existing tools? Initially, this will be a test. It's aiming mainly at a consumer. It doesn't have all the things that we have into the B2B platform, but it's a good way to get your students, your faculty members, your users excited and test this in a very simple way. Okay, so these are some of the announcements, but let's take a step back and put this into context. And I always want to keep it simple. I always ask 3 questions: why, what, and how? Why is this technology? Why should I care? It's very simple. We are standing in the biggest change in humanity, and I don't want to be dramatic, but it's probably in 70,000 years. It's definitely as big as the conversion from agriculture to industrialism. And you know what that did to cities, to society at large. According to World Economic Forum, 75% of companies will have to adopt this. The big difference between this transformation from industry to, let's say, from agriculture to industry was it took 100 years to do that. Here we have to do it in less than 3 years. And that is incredibly fast. In fact, in my humble opinion, it's too fast. Most organizations, whether you're an academic institution or you will struggle with this. So we are here to help. And part of this presentation is to guide you and assist you through this journey. Now, a few words about Eon. We are not a spring chicken. We've been around for 25 years, and we've been constantly focused on extended reality for knowledge transfer. So virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. We started with the big screens, headsets, and as we migrated to today, we use artificial intelligence to both create and support those experiences. We have, over the years, accumulated more than 45 million viewers on viewer downloads on our product. So we have a big community out there. We also have more than 100 countries that are taking advantage of our platform today. So that's about what I'm going to talk about Eon. I will talk a lot about our partner, and I will talk a lot about customers that are using this and why they use it. Okay, so talking about why, let's address the value proposition. Bottom line, why should I use it and what does it do for me? So rather than me saying this, I thought we'd let PricewaterhouseCoopers tell us. Let's go.
We have conducted a study on virtual reality learning. We found learners in VR required less time to learn. They had higher emotional connection to the content, higher confidence, and were less distracted during the training.
I believe these numbers are true, and in fact, they are very impressive. But I've also been, over the years, frustrated. If it is so good, how come not everybody is using this? And the answer was simple. it's not easy to do this. So E.ON has created platforms and tools that enable you or anyone, including my mom, she's 84 years old, to do this, okay? And how did we go about? It's a little bit of a journey. So we started with the basic tools, and then we went from the basic tools to spatial AI tools. Spatial means spatial computing, AI means artificial intelligence. So we can buy AI with extended reality. And now today we are launching the virtual campus. So I'm going to take you through that journey in a short. We'll start actually in the base. So when we started with this thinking to make it easy, we realized that there are 4 problems. Problem number 1 was that it wasn't easy to use this. There were not enough devices. There was not enough content. And overall, it wasn't agnostic. So if you were locked into virtual reality, you couldn't do extended reality, etc., or augmented reality. So we removed all those barriers. We started with EON XR covers any type of device from a phone that I actually will demonstrate today, to a tablet, to anything, right? We support more than, I would say, 7 billion phones, 2 billion PCs, etc. So we went from what today was 40 million headsets, that's all there is, to something that's much larger. We also started with the content, and there we went from 20,000 items to 9 million. And today we're gonna launch 3D Infinity. No more limit on content. You can say text on anything, and it's gonna create a 3D environment for you. For me, that's almost sounds unbelievable. So that was the content issue. The next issue was to create a type of interaction that you see there. And we did something called no code. So that was a good start. Now, it wasn't enough though, because we quickly realized that, you need to create things that are in the physical world. You need to create digital twins. So someone needs to approach this environment, use a tablet, and seconds scan the room, the environment, and then inject knowledge in that in such a way that the physical environment bursts with knowledge that we call explore. And we did that. Then we realized that's not enough either, because you don't want to be alone in these worlds. You want to collaborate with others. So we launched spatial meetings. So you can just use your phone if you want, or if you have a headset, and in augmented reality, join with other people from any corner of the world, collaborate into this exciting space. That was not enough either, because it's not about objects or environments. We quickly realized that we have to build worlds. It was very popular a few years ago to talk about the metaverse. So we actually did it. We call it walk and talk. And we're going to see that today. I'm just holding a device, in this case, my phone. And I'm saying that I want to see something here built, and it appears in front of my eyes, right? I want to see that engine or that type of museum artifact, okay? So that was Metaverse Builder. And finally, we realized also that we need to find a simple way for people to interact, so create interaction. So we call it touch and go. And that enables you to just literally have a little dial. You see the dial here to the right. You turn it around, and you can select what you want to do and interact and generate those live and easy. So with that, we felt we have a complete picture of basic tools. And indeed, during the COVID, I think we had almost 800% increase of the users. After COVID, we started looking at this and said, faculty member people have limited time. So how can we help them even further in the process of generating this? And that's when we married our technology with artificial intelligence. So we launched last year something we call EON AI Assistant. It feels that's decades ago. And what does EON AI Assistant do? So you can have an assistant. It will help you to create. So you don't have to know anything about how to do this. You just talk with it. It will ask you, it's almost like a menu. Well, it guides you, assists you, shows you, and tells you what to do. And, sometimes when I show this video, people say, oh yeah, that looks very slick, but that's not real. So I thought, why not be a little bit dangerous? So let me show a live demo right now. It's not dangerous. Let me just first of all look at the screen and create a personal. Let's see here, just a moment. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. It's very early here in California, so you'll be able to. I'm getting Eon started. Okay. Okay, so you should see the environment. You can see this is live. You see my left hand. And now I can have choices. I can create, I can explore.
Physical world with AI assistants. Browse the library of experiences or start AI conversation.
Let's go for create.
Choose an AI persona to shape the tone and style of the content we will generate for you in the later stages.
You can see here I can select between primary school, secondary, college, and that will define completely how our content is related to me. So for this purpose, I will go for, why not, technical vocational training.
Please locate a flat, non-reflective surface.
So you can see
Please
here.
select a topic from the following segments. If you choose custom, you have the option to specify your own topic using your voice or keyboard.
I can select anything. I'm not restricted. I can go to study the peace process in Northern Ireland or the nocturnal life of honey badgers in Ethiopia, if I click customs. But let's do education. So if I do that, if I click, for example, TVET, you'll see here that I will have many, many choices, from criminal justice to fashion to education to plumbing to safety. If I go for health and human services, I will have everything from nutrition, healthcare, allied health science. I'll go for that. Medical procedures, I'll select that. I'll click next. I'll go.
You've selected the topic medical procedures and techniques from the education segment. Do you want to learn about the main components or a procedure of the chosen topic?
I'll go pretty fast here because we have a lot of room to cover. So I went for
medical procedures and techniques involve various methods used in healthcare to diagnose, treat, and prevent illnesses.
Okay, so it's building a knowledge portal for me.
Did you know that in the field of allied health sciences, there is a technique called therapeutic ultrasound that uses high-frequency sound waves to treat musculoskeletal injuries?
And
it can help reduce pain, increase blood flow, and promote tissue healing.
Everything you see here is built live for me right now. It's not stored in a library. It's built based on my instructions.
Here is a video related to medical procedures and techniques.
In the interest of your time, I'll skip the video. And now I have choices
to enter.
Select
keywords to search for a 3D model or image. You may choose.
I'll go for
a 3D object allows us to explore this subject further.
Okay, so if you see me before, you know I really like the hospital, but obviously I could have selected anything.
Select to explain about the.
And now I'm actually entering this hospital. And you see that my room now.
This is a quick demonstration for the procedure of medical procedures and techniques.
Is converted.
Step 1, prepare the patient for surgery. Ensuring proper consent and preoperative
and he's showing
assessments.
And telling me about everything.
Step 2, perform radiological imaging to visualize internal structures and identify abnormalities.
And I lower the volume so I can, we don't double speak. Notice that I am in this hospital and I'm standing up now. So I'm actually physically walking in this hospital freely. So I can look anywhere I want, right? So I can look here, see if someone put chewing gum, some naughty student there. No, nothing is there. So imagine that you have at your fingertips from the particle accelerator in CERN, anything, while at the same time, you can see that I'm still in my room, right? And the hospital is there. So I can go from that to full scale immersive reality or virtual reality if I have a headset. Now I happen just to have my phone, which is very convenient. Now, what can I do when I do this? So obviously, the extended reality explanation here takes me to step by step. I can stop that if I don't want to. So this is the learning procedure. And then I have a lot of nice choices. I can do a lot. Let's listen in.
Assessments and annotations. Try out some quizzes or chat with the AI to explore the subject further.
So I can add annotation, it automatically generate assessment for me. I can add my interactions, quizzes. I can add locate, so it actually anchors this in my reality with a geoposition. I can identify things, ask it AI to identify. We can do questions. We can do lots of things. I can also do what is called a 3D recording, where I'm recording myself in a procedure, standard operation procedure, and it's done. I can try quizzes about this topic. But let's say I want to keep it simple. So let's add an object. Ventilator. So now it goes into the huge library that we have access to, and out of millions of assets, I can pick this specific ventilator. And you notice there was no work involved. I just said ventilator, and here I have a ventilator. So now I can quit the wizard because I want to go solo. I don't want to get help. Let's say I'm using this for a while.
I'm your AI guide. You can ask me anything.
Okay, so the first thing I notice here is when I am in this environment, I can interact. So you thought you need gloves and things to interact in virtual reality? No, you can use your phone that you have in your pocket right now, interact with it. Let's say I don't want AI to tell me and walk me through a standard procedure, but I am the expert on this ventilator. So I have something I can do here, which we call 3D recording. So now I can record myself. Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about this specific ventilator, and I'm going to show you how you can take it apart. And especially if you want to reconfigure it for, instead of one patient, 3 patients, if you are in a crisis situation where you don't have enough ventilator, this is a good way to do it. So I recorded this. The recording is uploaded into the cloud, and you can see that I can play it back. By the way, behind the scenes, you see that there's a quiz. It's been creating a quiz. What's a ventilator? Identify, locate. So there's a lot of assessment that's built for me without that I can look through later. Good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about this specific ventilator, and I'm going to show you how you can take it apart. And especially if you want to reconfigure it for, instead of one patient, 3 patients, if you are in a crisis situation where you don't have enough. There you go. I was not only quickly, I was both slimmer and younger. And that's the beauty of being in this type of experiences. So that was my alter ego, my avatar. Now there's much more you can do here. You can ask AI to identify. You can ask him to do a deep dive on various equipment that we have here from. You can, for example, create interactions. We can do something dramatic. Let's say something really bad is happening in this room, like smoke. But in the interest of your time, I'm not going to do any of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to exit. And here's the beauty. I can save this in different ways, privately, publicly, or on the marketplace. Private means that only my company or my organization, my university will have access to it. Publicly, as the name implies, it's open for everybody. And marketplace, you can actually monetize this and set a dollar amount, and you will get a big part of that revenue for what you created. So now you can save this, and voila, the lesson has been created for you, handmade. Medical procedures techniques. I think I like this. You should never say like, my wife says, if other people should do it. Yes, that's correct. And you can see I have choices. I can use the pen. That means that I will edit, or I send this to someone and allow them to edit this to add their value. I can start a meeting. Using this number, I share this with my colleagues. Suddenly they are in this room with me. And now together we can explore as avatars and learn together. So I can invite the top surgeon from, I don't know, let's say somewhere like Stanford University, and we can go through that experience, collaborative experience together. I can also do other things. I can go down and say I want to send this to my student, and I ask him to complete this experience and be assessed, tested on what I created. I didn't do a lot, so
Hi.
it's not
You're
too
in
much to
play mode for
experience yet.
medical procedures and techniques. I'm your AI guide. You can ask me anything.
Okay, wonderful. So in this case, I'll go directly for assessment. You can see here the quizzes, the things I recorded. So remember, if I take, for example, quiz for ventilator, I do start.
What is a ventilator?
That was pretty easy. There are much more advanced applications now that we have with Jeopardy. Also, I can do something we call 3D recording, which I did, if you remember, but then that's connected with something we call 3D assessment. So the student can be assessed. You can see there 3D playback ventilator. So I can click on that. It will play back that procedure, and then the student will have to replicate that procedure and get the score. So there we have a real simulator. If you are interested, we are doing deep dives every week. So just reach out to us and you can get access to test this yourself. And you can also get access to our experts, and they can walk you through a whole description. As we have a lot of ground to cover, I'm not going to do that right now. So that was that. Now, please note that behind the scenes, as let's say if I'm a professor and I gave that assignment, I can see that, okay, when did Dan log in? He logged in for 1 minute and 23 seconds. He completed a quiz successfully. He viewed this for 1 minute and 90 seconds with no other test. So he got a good score, but very, very limited activity. So I can sit behind the scenes on my PC, on my laptop, and monitor the students. Everything is well organized, and it's there. Now, we have other little surprise for you. Just see in the middle there, it says View AI Report. Now, we are not only embracing the future, but we're also embracing the current situation. So we can generate a customized curriculum for that topic, including everything, videos, text, images, 3D. So students can actually cover this before they engage with the lesson. So they first learn about the topic, and then they experience the topic personally. Okay, so I know that we have a lot of ground to cover, so I'm not going to do much more here. I'll stop for now. And instead, what I'm going to do is continue on the presentation. So we saw the one little product here we call AI Assistant, where we were guided to the experience. But I also alluded in the beginning to something different, which we call Train AI. So in Train AI, you are taking your own materials. So I've seen, let's say I'm teaching mechatronics, and I can go to either you can actually do it on a PC, on your Mac. You can also do it on different devices. You upload your documents, paper, PDFs, whatever you have. The AI is training on that data. What it means is that it will not hallucinate, right? It will stick to that data. If you ask something that's unrelated to that data, I will say, I don't know. So the beauty of this is that this addresses one of the biggest fears that organizations we deal with. They are excited about AI, but they're afraid to use it because they don't know whether it will be truthful or not. And they may also provide inappropriate information that you don't want your students to be having access to. And you safeguard that with Train AI. It goes very fast. To train an AI, we talk about minutes for very large data. Another thing we talked about is the ability to not only explore the virtual reality environment, but how about having an AI that helps you in the daily life? So what we're seeing here is the ability to, let's have a look. So it's in my room. The avatar appears in my room. its geoposition, so it knows where we are. And we are unleashing a new capability, which we call IntelliScan. So the AI is able to look around. Well, all I'm doing is I'm taking my phone and rotating it, and it captures everything. And then it starts to explain what the AI sees in my room. And that was one question. The second question I ask it is, based on this, who do you think lives in this room? And let's listen in what he said first about the first question, and then the second question. The second question was a bit more tricky, like a Sherlock Holmes, right? Let's listen in.
Has a dark blue book with a yellow car model on top of it. The printer is black and appears to be a newer model. The red wooden bookshelf upper shelf has a vase, a book titled Churches. There is a large abstract painting hanging on the wall above the couch. The home office.
So I thought that was pretty impressive, right? That it could depict what it is in the room. But that's just the beginning. The real test of what I call amazing is the Sherlock Holmes question that followed when I asked, okay, so I understand that you see things in this room, but tell me about the owner of this house, so specifically who lives in this or who's working in this room. And that was a fascinating answer. Let's listen in.
Radiates the essence of a creative professional evident from the Mac Pro and microphone. The eclectic mix on the bookshelves, from sculptures to varied books, suggests an individual with a rich tapestry of experiences, possibly well-traveled and cultured. The exercise bike speaks to a commitment to health, while the prominent world map indicates a global perspective or wanderlust. With a blend of personal touches and functional items, this room seems to be the sanctuary of someone who intertwines their work with their diverse personal interests.
Okay, so you saw that. So I find that amazing. You have this companion that can help you and assist you in your real life, anytime, anywhere. Now, soft skills, we talked about that. And overnight, our CTO, Jan, prepared a video. And Britta, I know that he's available, so I didn't have a chance to download that because I think it shows a lot of new functionalities. So for now, I'll show the standard video for soft skills. But the difference between what you're going to see now and what Jan will present in the end of my session here is the ability to not only have a soft skill training in anything, any topic, but also put it in the context, in an environment. And these environments are generated based on speech. So let's say I'm doing a negotiated soft skill for negotiation skills, and I want to be in a very high-end studio or a meeting room. All you need to do is that these environments are created for you immediately. So initially we'll have a library on all this, but already over the weekend, using this approach, we generated tens of thousands of environments. But let's first start with the basic functionality. So there's 3 steps with the on soft skill. You go to role play. You can select here from things like history, geopolitics. Let's go back here so you can see business skills, human resources, medical skills, hospitality. There's literally hundreds of different skills you can train. In my particular case, when I took my first company public, they sent me to London to train on journalism skills, like how to be interviewed by a journalist that maybe is not so positively inclined. And it was very expensive because they had to use real actors that were asking me uncomfortable questions. And I had to train how to respond in a good way. It was very effective, but very expensive. Now, everybody can afford that right now with soft skill. It's not any longer a couple of £1,000, I think, per day. It's much, much less. Let's listen in. So there's 3 steps with this. First, it's, we call it learning. So you learn about
This is
topic.
a quick demonstration for the procedure of check-in/checkout.
So as you can see here, we selected hospitality and we selected the check-in procedure. So now you can get to converse with a real customer. You can select the customer and try to respond. And obviously, we can switch. Some customers are very friendly, some are grumpy, some are tired, and some are very, very demanding. And here the key is to first train the procedure.
Step 1. Collect guest information, including name, contact details, and identification verification. Step 2. Assign a room number based on availability and guest preferences.
You get the point, right? You get the firm introduction. You can now click on these blue buttons and get more information. You can get videos, text, etc. Now it's time to go to the next step, which is training. So the scenario is hospitality. You have some default scenarios like booking a luxury suite, complain about poor room service, or guided tour cancellation. So in this case, we selected booking a luxury suite, but you can also customize those, okay? So let's go in. And now you select the role. Are you the customer or are you the reservation agent? In this case, we select to be the, let's see, reservation agent. And now I have different personas: a business travel, busy professional, a honeymooner, a family vacationer, or retiree. In this case, we went straight for celebrity, high-profile individual who requires privacy, exclusivity, and exceptional service during their stay. Let's listen in. Okay, now it's time to select your avatar. So let's see here. We're going for the lady with the red hair. And now you can get started. So hello and welcome to this role play on booking a luxury suite and a customer service role play with hospitality and tourism. And the profile is celebrity. So let's start.
Hello, I'm a luxury seeker who values comfort and premium experiences. I'm interested in booking a high-end hotel room. Can you recommend any options?
We have a junior suite for $150 per night.
I'm looking for something more luxurious. Do you have any higher tier suites available?
Of course, we have a suite with 5 different rooms and a jacuzzi, and it costs $750 per night.
That sounds like the level of...
Anyway, so what you're seeing here is the previous version. Today, later on, we'll see the version where you actually are in a reception room that is fully designed for you and customized from text. So from text to a 360 environment that we then convert to a 3D environment is there. So anyway, the conversation goes on and eventually you end up in a situation where you, after you conducted this, you go from train to, as you can see there, assess. And you get an overview chart of how well you've done, a summary, and then a detailed report, what you did right, what you did wrong, what you could have done better. Let's listen in.
You did well in providing options and confirming the price upon the customer's request for a more luxurious suite. However, there were areas for improvement, such as asking for necessary details, providing more information about the suite, explaining the check-in process, and offering additional assistance.
I think you get it. So it's amazing, especially this example was very simple, but I've been in ethical dilemmas discussions that are very difficult, negotiation skills, things that personally, if I had this when I was younger, when I started my business, would have been amazing rather than doing these mistakes and learning by actually failing in real life that has real consequences, not in this environment. So here are the spatial AI products. So now we talked about the basics, we talked about the spatial. Let's move on to the future, or the future's here today. We have had requests from many customers that they want to have courses, and they want to have these courses from the beginning. And the ability to enter in these courses, we have something we call the virtual campus. And the virtual campus puts it all together and offers you such courses. Let's listen in. So now there's 2 versions of it. One, you can access this just by clicking on buttons in a 2D environment. We're also coming out a little bit later with a knowledge world where you can customize your own campus or your own company, and you can enter that environment. And in that environment, you'll be able to interact with AI that guides you to the various experiences. Let's listen in.
Aon has unveiled a groundbreaking product named the Virtual Campus. allowing academic institutions to digitally recreate their campuses. This innovative approach empowers various departments, from biology to business administration, to integrate AI avatars specifically trained on their unique curricula. Through this, institutions can provide immersive, experiential learning using extended reality. Components and features. Explained. The Eon AI assistant gives life to these avatars, empowering them with expansive language models to communicate effectively. Within the simulated environment, these avatars furnish guidance, support. They can show, tell, and guide and assist, creating an extended reality experience. Train AI, another vital component, streamlines the process for institutions by transforming their existing text-based curriculum. Once converted, the AI avatar undergoes training with this content, ensuring that the knowledge shared is both precise and reliable. With Eon AI Ready, institutions can effortlessly generate automatically immersive experiences in batch mode. These experiences are a treasure trove of educational content, comprising videos, voice narrations, interactive 3D experiences, images, and assessments.
Okay, so I think you get it. Now, if you are more interested in the details, there is a whole description step by step. I'll just kind of play 10 seconds on that. In the interest of your time, I'll leave you with links.
Technical step-by-step narration for virtual campus walkthrough. 1. Curriculum training with Eon Train AI.
So you can listen to that. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to give you a glimpse of a little bit what's coming around the corner, where you can actually have a campus that is not limited to the physical realm. And we did last year a new product that we didn't use a lot, to be honest. It was called the Knowledge World. This was used for the metaverse, but we are now reviving this and in a new way and deploying it as a part of the virtual campus. And you can see here that you can enter this environment either via a 2D environment, into the campus, and then you enter a 3D world. You can have friends with you. When we did this last year, we didn't have legs. As you can see now, we do have legs. And you can visit these locations. You are met, for example, if you go to the mechanical room by an avatar that knows everything and guides you to the courses. So it's a much more exploration based environment than typical, where you click on 2D buttons. We even have a frat house where you can hang out with your friends. Okay, so that's the virtual campus. Now, I know a lot of you have asked about specific courses. So virtual campus does contain that. We have courses for universities, for technical vocational schools, for community colleges, for K-12, and also custom. Custom means that we can engage with you on a Friday and you say, you know, we want courses for our specific academic institution or our specific environment. And we can do that also using the power of AI. Now, how do we go about to do that? You'll notice, first of all, that if you go to our web page, there is a new tab here called Eon Courses. When at this tab, if you click on that, you'll see the virtual campus. And under that, you will see that there is a Eon Virtual Campus for universities, for TVET, community college, K-12, and custom. Now, let's say I'm interested in university courses. So what we did is we looked at literally many universities, hundreds of universities. And then based on that, we said, okay, out of these thousands of courses, which courses are best applied where extended reality provides a very significant value? So extended reality for hard skills, extended reality for soft skills, and also extended reality for storytelling, virtual story skill quests. So based on that, we selected a few. So let me give you some examples. School of Earth in Energy Environmental Sciences. You have mineralogy. School of, let's say, Advanced Remote Sensing Techniques. If I go to engineering and I go back to robotics, here's a course. Now, what exactly does this course entail? So first of all, you saw some of this. We have a knowledge portal with floating annotations, a hero image with text, video, 10 dynamic portals. We have a 3D model integration, not only one, like we saw there with the hospital, but you can have a lot of them in the environment. You have also annotations with all the details about that, which are dynamic. We are now introducing IntelliScan, so you can take a model that doesn't have annotation and generate those. You can also change them if you want, but that comes with the lesson automatically. You have assessment creation, so different type of quizzes, things like I showed you drop-down menu quizzes, locate, identify, Jeopardy style. But we're also coming with new ones. We have drag and drop, matching, ordering, and much more that are coming shortly. We also have something that I find fascinating. My background is simulators. So I used to do aircraft simulators, tank simulators, etc. And I always dreamt about enabling to do simulators for everything. And that's what this Universal Skills Simulator does. So if you remember when I recorded myself doing things with the ventilator, and that recording, let's assume there was a standard operation procedure of how to maintain that ventilator. That applies to everything. But keep in mind that equipment and environments have many standard operation procedures. So if you look at the robotics case, it can be things like a startup procedure. It can be if something goes wrong. And all the standard procedures, let's say 50 standard procedures are recorded. In this case, we typically do 5 as a default, and you can extend that. Now, once you look at the procedure, which is the 3D animated avatar that shows you step-by-step what to do, then you can practice and you will be evaluated. Very much the same that we saw in the soft skills scenario. It will tell you what you did right, what you did wrong. It will show you that radar graph, and you are certified. Now, that level of certification is immensely better than the type of test you can do today in using paper, pen, and YouTube. So it's even sometimes even better than reality, because you can undergo, let's take an engine or robot to just disassemble it. We talk about hours. Okay. So that's the AI generated skill simulator. There are also 2 optional, in this case, interactive simulation scenario in incident simulations. Though those are not included as a standard, they are coming from additional fee. But the number 1 to 5 are all there. So this can go to medicine, anatomy courses, etc. Now, I did mention soft skills. So how does that apply? You can see here engineering entrepreneurship, or corporate financial strategy in global markets, or corporate leadership in dynamics. You can see here you have the floating annotations with the explanation in learning. You have the training with various personas you can engage with. You can have everything from review and budget allocation to conflicts. So all these are available for you. Okay, so I think you got it. Now, this is generic. Now, let's say if I'm interested in not university, I'm much more hands-on. I want to learn about TVET. Similar courses are there, and K-12, etc., etc. Now, what about if I want a custom course? I want my own course. Then you click on custom, and we provide that solution also. So an example here, we looked at Stanford University. We look at what type of courses they have. And we, out of the thousands of courses, we saw courses that are related to specific topics where extended reality provides a lot of value. And you can see them here. And this can be generated also the same way. We are not limiting. We rolled out Virtual Campus today. We are also rolling out very soon Virtual Enterprise. So if you are an enterprise and you want to do lifelong learning, you can do Virtual Enterprise for tourism, for security defense, or you can do virtual learning courses for relationship and cultural. So this goes far beyond what we have time to cover today. Okay, so now you saw these course materials, but someone would ask, okay, I understand that, but can you please show me how a course looks like practically? So here you can see the mechatronics. In your living room, I have 2 robots. I'm actually going through a whole procedure of installation automation, things that every student now can take the robots home with the introduction in mechatronics and enjoy that. If you are in mineralogy, you'll have the wealth of all the petrology, all the stones, the rock cut crops are also there. If you want to learn
Robotic
surgical
surgery
techniques,
is an advanced medical technique that allows...
So you have all the practical environments in your surgical environment. Imagine having a state-of-the-art surgical equipment in your classroom, or students to take it home. Or a big warehouse.
Several components in a warehouse work harmoniously to ensure a fit.
For supply chain management, or a very advanced chemistry lab, where you can look at chemistry lessons or how to conduct various chemistry lab procedures. So this is just a little sample, a little glimpse, and what you can do. But we don't stop there. So we talked about hard skills, we talked about soft skills, but as humans, throughout history, we learned from the ability to tell stories. So we have introduced something new we call virtual stories. So if we talk about criminal investigation, forensic science, by the way, everything you see here is generated by AI, the environments based on text. So we created a forensic, we used AI to generate the relevant story, a narration with skills quest, with tests, and the environment was created first in 360, that was automatically converted to 3D, which then generated all the annotations, we generated all the narration, which generated additional scenes. You can see there, I'm in one scene here, I'm in a different scene here, and a different scene here. I'm in a bedroom. All these were created by using AI and generate fantastic stories. But these stories, if I want to do mechatronics,
Step
likewise.
into the mechatronics workshop, where engineering, electronics, and computer science unite. Behold a robotic arm and a circuit board, epitomizing precision in it.
You can see there that I'm into the mechanical room, then I'm in a second room. It's all about mechatronics experience, automatically generated. And now with the GPTs, we can actually expand that. So you can say, have your GPT for creation and say, I'm interested in organic chemistry.
To the heart of synthesis, hum of machines and the subtle clinks of...
Now you can always go in and edit this. So it's a suggestion. You can see a very realistic supply chain management environment, all the way from the warehouse to the transportation hub to the retail store. You can go for mineralogy from the lab.
Sanctuary of Geological Research. Each
all the way
equipment is
to
like the superhero
rock outcrop. So unlimited, we call it 3D infinity, unlimited, right? But we also want to touch the curiosity of learning, right? Kids today, if you are in learning, you have to compete with TikTok. You have to compete with things that are bite-sized, very quick. How can we make learning fun? So we have now also launched edutainment virtual stories and skills quest. So let's say I'm interested in Mayan pyramids.
Where moonlight scarcely penetrates, cadavers lay entwined with overgrown vegetation, intermingled with the ghastly remains of human sacrifices.
By the way, that was if you didn't know that sound, that's a Mayan float that mimics the same sound that human made when human sacrifice was conducting and you tear out the heart. It's pretty, it's interesting story. Kids are fascinated about things like this. This is real things. This is not Indiana Jones.
Beneath the ancient soils of Xi'an, a subterranean legion stood in silent vigil.
So that's the story about the terracotta army, right? You recognize that? Stonehenge.
Up the heelstone, its cry piercing the dawn.
This week,
Chichen Itza. Giza Pyramid.
Were built. To be honest,
Angkor Wat.
It cast an otherworldly glow.
Easter Island.
going through the hearts of the few.
You know, I had a benefit to visit a lot of these places, but most, you know, if you take a kid in Sri Lanka, he may not be able to visit Petra.
Petra, whispered secrets
or
of a
Machu
lost
Picchu.
civilization.
So I think edutainment is very helpful. Now, obviously, we also have very practical. Most of the students need eventually to find a job. And what's good about this, that everything you select, whether it's manufacturing here, these are things that are used in real life, right? So this technology, we have companies historically among our customers like ExxonMobil or Aramco, or you can use this in flight. So if you take the flight with American Airlines, in this case, from London to Paris, you can see here this technology used to not only show you what different buttons do, but if something goes wrong, you can also see here what to do. You know, Ethiopian Airlines, if they had that, they will fare differently. Or hospitals. In this case, this is actually used by Children's Hospital of Orange County, and they're using this for things like explaining to patients which operations they do. I think it's a huge opportunity in tourism, and students can be engaged with that. So if you come to, let's say, in this case, Pisa Tower, you download your avatar and it speaks 82 languages. Language is an important thing, by the way, which is coming out with a new release now, so we support even more languages. And it can guide you and assist you in your own language. Or if I'm interested in security and safety, we have that. So those are the link between theory and practice. Okay, so now you listen to all these examples, so let's summarize a little bit. What are the benefits for you as a user of this? And interesting enough, as we have deployed this across the world in many different locations, the benefits are kind of similar. We hear the same story, and there's lots of benefits, but I will try to just keep myself to 4. It's indisputable that this transforms education. We know, and the statistics that PricewaterhouseCoopers outlined before are what we've seen also. Students learn faster, retain information longer, make better decisions. I mean, it's natural, since we used to chase mammoths, that show me and experience this is a much better way than just reading something or watching the YouTube video. There is a reason today to be certified as a pilot, you actually have to be in a simulator that costs $50 million rather than just watch the video, read a book about how to safely land in an emergency situation. So I think that's not in question. But as an effect of that, we also see the quality of education is increasing. So if you compare a standard school with a school that has this type of standard equipment, but also experiential learning, their ability to learn is much higher, which translates to higher satisfaction from students, higher engagement. You can watch TikTok at the same time that you are in this environment because your attention is there. You have to do things, right? You can't safely land an aircraft in water while you do TikTok at the same time. Then also, of course, a lot of academic institutions charge a fee. And we've seen that the ones that have this technology can attract more students, so increase enrollment, but also at the same time, they can charge a bit more for this type of courses. So the return on investment, and I'll come back to that, is immense. This really translates in more value, and which you can also monetize. And talking about monetization, the third benefit is that most academic institutions and organizations at large, governments, realize the value of building your own intellectual property, your own assets. Now, everything you create in this environment, all the IP is owned by you. That means that you can do whatever you want. You can monetize it, you can sell it. If you use our marketplace, today we are giving 80% of the revenue back to you. So it's an immense opportunity for you to, and we've seen this, as you can see from these videos, across the world, whether it's United States or whether it's Africa or Middle East or all the way down to Indonesia, as we can see here, that these benefits are consistent. Okay, so now if you want to learn more about this and you want to even talk or listen to what some of our partners have done, whether it's Italy or Canada or Costa Rica or wherever. There are literally hundreds of videos that show use cases, testimonials, or what the benefits are. So you can find this on a YouTube channel. You can just go to the playlist called Testimonials and you'll find it there. The same applies for use cases. You can see here number of use cases in industry, manufacturing, energy, tourism, hospitality, but also in various areas of education. So we talked about academia, we talked about the transition. So when we started 25 years ago, there were mainly this type of customers. We started with Carnegie Mellon, Cornell University, Imperial College, Fraunhofer Institute, because the technology was very expensive and was not affordable. But nowadays, what we are doing is this is available and accessible for everybody. So we went from high-end university to normal universities. We went from that to technical vocational skills, now to K-12. And we are building a global community. I just returned from a very long trip, the longest trip I've done, I would say, in my life. I visited 83 different locations, and the response is amazing. So I feel a bit responsible that we provide this opportunity to you. And I always divide our partners, in 2 or 3 groups. There's 3 types of responses: people that, make this happen, embrace it, and gain the benefits. People that understand what happens and they go into it, but are a little bit more careful. And there's always the 3rd group that wonder what happened. So I hope you can join us in the 1st group or even 2nd group to do this. Now, let's say you're interested to join. What exactly do you need to make this happen in practice? You need 4 things. And the good news is we can provide a turnkey solution of everything, okay? Number 1, you need infrastructure. So we are working today with Amazon Web Services, which is the most reliable, most extensive, secure cloud platform. We are also now soon going to launch the same with Microsoft, with Azure. So we cover perpetually 100% of the cloud infrastructure cost as a part of this solution. We also provide you with a platform infrastructure to link with devices like Microsoft HoloLens, like Oculus devices from Meta, like ARKit, like Magic Leap, and very soon Vision Pro from Apple. So more than 31 different devices that you can experience. You're not limited to the phone or to the tablet. You can use anything and seamlessly. Next thing is, obviously, we provide the platforms. We talked about them a lot at length, so I'm not going to cover it, but everything from the basic platforms all the way to AI platforms, and now also the virtual campus courses. We don't provide hardware unless you are in a country that explicitly have difficulty to purchase this, because they are off-the-shelf items. We can do that if you need, but keep in mind that 95% are using what they have in the pockets today. They are using their PC, their tablets. You don't need any device. And if you want to use a headset, it's easy to connect them. We do provide a little bit of hardware, which is converting this to a virtual reality device. It's called Humido. So there's a little attachment you do, but very limited. And last but not least, we provide know-how that is very valuable. See, the success of this is for you to understand. We learn, we are happy to share all our secrets, what works. Luckily, the implementation that used to be very complex is now a breeze because AI does all the heavy lifting. But still, we do provide, for example, LMS integration. So if you have an LMS system, we do provide that. We do certify all faculty members and all students, both how to use this, but also how to create new things. And the same applies for enterprise and governments. So a full turnkey solution. Now, if you're curious about how that works, I wasn't planning to share the details in this presentation. There are tons of details if you are interested in that. And that's probably room for another presentation. But things like, for example, let me just jump to that. how we set up the project team for implementing, the roles, how we do a needs assessment of what you want to do, how we do the delivery and integration, how we do the certification, the workshops, etc. All that is specified with project plans, etc. So it's not our first rodeo. We've done it many times, and we are not satisfied. And everything, all that is included. Okay, so you don't have to worry about extra cost for training or anything like that. Okay, so at this point you may wonder, okay, this sounds good, but show me a concrete case of how this works. Let me do that. So here's an example. This is UBT from a University of Business Technology from Europe. They started with 1,000 students in April 20th, and by June they had rolled this out to 16,502. During that period, and keep in mind this was before the AI, so this was when we had the basic tools, they were able to create 53,000 lessons. When I say they, who is they? This is actually not the teachers. A lot of this was created by students. So students got homework. They selected areas like management, computer science, security study, mechatronics, law, media communication, food science, etc., etc. And for each of these, courses were created. Okay, out of these 53,000 lessons and experiences created by students, the 5%, around a little bit less than actually, 4,339 were selected and incorporated in a curriculum as a custom curriculum. So all this happened between April to June. Now, if you told me that even 3 years ago, I would say that's nuts. That's not, it's not possible, but it is possible today. So that's a concrete, in fact, it can happen faster today, even and given the benefits and the capabilities of virtual campus that I showed you. So at this point, some people say, okay, that sounds fantastic, but show me some concrete use cases. So here is our center in Malaysia.
This is
really beautiful. And what you see here is that they deployed this, started with just 4,395 students. They created 68% of the students have an international certification, which is very important for this process. 97.2% employability. And of course, ultimately, that's where the rubber meets the road. If you use this type of technology, is it helping you to get a job? We also have something we call the Spatial AI Academy. So most of the students are using this as a means to facilitate their learning. But you can also use this technology to learn how you can use this to create your own business or to work with someone helping to develop this type of applications. So that's one. Another example from Middle East here is I'm here with the president of Arab Open University. We just recently signed. Their offices in places like Medina, Beirut, Cairo, 9 different locations throughout the Middle East, 50,000 students, very big population. And they are deploying it being an open university, a lot of it taking their courses that are static, e-learning, traditional LMS to this experiential realm. I also had the pleasure to meet with a mayor, this mayor in Thailand, and he was at our—
Ladies and gentlemen,
our Eon Experience Fest in Dubai virtually, and he recently got a prize in Geneva for rolling this out to his city. So what does that mean? That every student, he started, I think, with just the classroom, and then it was such a success that immediately he implemented it to all his city's schools, which is 11,000 students. It's not a huge city. And this was so popular, so he got a prize in Geneva recently at an event. And I was just informed a week ago that the mayor was selected by the Prime Minister of Thailand for this, for his innovation using this technology. By the way, there's Humidos. And based on that, we are looking now to expand to dozens of cities duplicating that. I'm going to use just a very brief comment here from the mayor.
And marvelous educational tool for the future of our kids. Our city is in the southern of Thailand, with a population of 120,000. We started employing the metaverse technology in all city schools with 11,000 students.
Anyway, I'm very grateful for that partnership. Okay, so by now, some of you are excited. Some of you, okay, this sounds interesting. And the obvious question comes always, how much does this cost? And, you know, we try to make it simple. I'll be very honest with you. We want to reach not thousands. We want to reach billions. And to do that, it has to be available. It has to be accessible. Available meaning that you can use your phone today and you can access it. But it also has to be affordable. Okay. So in US, we work here, of course, a lot. If you go to our list price, it's $36 per product, and there's 10 products per month. So if you add it, it can be quite expensive. And there is a reason for that. We are charging that much because we want to maximize the short-term profit. No, we have almost 15 different suppliers, from things like geopositioning. We have to pay people like OpenAI and other AI providers. So we have to satisfy, which is inside built in our platform. However, having said that, we have negotiated special terms for big rollouts. And we also have a nonprofit called Learn for Life. This nonprofit has been around for 15 years and rolled out in places like Africa, Papua New Guinea, Honduras, etc. So here's the good news. You can do two things. You can just join as a classroom. There are some discounts. So normally it's $36 per user and month. Now, that's for 30 users, that's the minimum amount. If you want to go to 100 users, then the price is $32. If you want to go for an institution, which is 256 people, then it's $25. And a campus, 1,000 users, is $18 per product per month. Now, there is also the last alternative here, and that's very exciting. And I'm excited to say that we offer you that opportunity today, where we cover 99.2% of the cost. There is a grant. There is no free lunch. I'll explain you what the good and the bad and the ugly. There's actually mainly good. And this grant, there's different flavors. There's sponsored by Learn for Life. And just to give you a flavor where Learn for Life comes from.
Welcome to Eon Reality's Learn for Life program, where we believe knowledge is a human right. Learn for Life is Eon Reality's nonprofit.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to the whole video. You can enjoy it. Just Google it. But we've been around for 15 years as an organization, 22 years. We done this. When we started in Africa long ago, there were no mobile phones. So we had to do things with PCs. It was a very different stage there. It was difficult to attract investors or sponsors for these grants. As things moved on, it became easier. So we got, especially in Africa, support from organizations like UNESCO, UNIDO. We got engaged with water sanitation, farm water, new safety, soil conservation, energy awareness, things like that. And this grew up. So I'll give you an example. We did a $28 million project for a national rollout in Morocco, sponsored by USAID, provided millions of dollars in cash to enable that. We've done rollout in South Africa, sponsored together between us and also the government there, that reached initially 57,000 students. So we've done a lot with this program. Now, the good news is that we have that program also available to enter new markets. So if you are participating in this and are interested, all you have to do, there is an online application, and there's three types of grants. One is called the Future Workforce Grant. It's aiming to K-12 technical vocation. One is called the Spatial R&D Grant, more to university. And one is called the Impact Grant, which addresses more governments and institutions like that. All you have to do is there's an online application, and we can send that to you. It literally takes about 10 minutes to apply. So it's very simple. There are actually no obligations, so there's no financial commitment with the application itself. You can apply, and you can see here the online application. You can fill that in. Most of the questions here are multiple choice. And once you select those things, you can just submit. Okay? So the process for this is as follows. We do an introduction meeting. This you can consider to be the introduction meeting. Then you can ask for the application. You can submit. And as I already said, there are no financial obligation, binding commitments, or liabilities. Now, we have a committee. Some of these committee members are internal, some are external. All applications are reviewed, and you'll get within 5 to 10 days an answer, yes or no. Because we want to grow, we will be fairly generous if you use this technology to consider and approve your application. If you get approved, you get a certificate, and that certificate allows you enough time to review everything, to do a proper due diligence, to test the software, to go through the terms of the grant, and for us also to do a more in-depth review of how you're going to use it. And if both party agrees, both parties says yes, then after we do the solution meeting, we issue an official offer letter. And that offer letter, if you accept it, becomes binding. Now, so that's the process. What's the cost for you? As little as 0.8% of the list price. Now, I did say there's no free lunch, so there are some requirements. Obviously, this is not aimed for a small rollout. This is aimed for a large campus-wide rollout. It entails 5,000 students and 750 interns, so it's not something that you do in a small lab. But given that it covers 99.2, the ultimate cost is much smaller than even if you had selected a small lab. That's one. The other thing is that we are doing this not only for nonprofit reasons, we are doing this to enter a market. Keep in mind, our goal is to reach 1 billion people in the next 3 years. So you will become a reference site, and part of the requirements in the application that you actually use the technology, so we can show efficacy. So we can show other institutions how you benefit from this. Now, if you decide after the application due diligence of any reason not to proceed, it's very easy. You just say no. The grant goes to the next applicant. So it's very straightforward, very simple, and it's something I really encourage you to do. So with that, I only want to give you one more slide here. I know that education is different. In US, we pay a lot for education. So if you're at a university, my kids went to such universities, you have to pay between $50,000 to $70,000 a year. Now, if you go to France or places in Europe, that cost is much reduced, is very nominal. So what I'm showing you here doesn't apply everywhere, but just as an exercise to show you how this could look, we used 5,000 students, and we looked at what would be the return investment if you are in a high-income country like US, Japan, or middle-income country like Brazil, China, or Saudi Arabia, or a low-income country like Nigeria or Egypt or South Africa. Then we looked at, we assumed 5,000 students. We looked at what the online costs are today for such countries. I would say this is medium because there are some countries that I already mentioned that have lower cost than that, but on a medium level. And then we said, what if using this technology, we just calculate a fraction of what we see. We've seen increases on online that goes 50, 60%, let's say and we also seen the ability to charge a little bit more, maybe 15% more for those courses. Now, if we compound those, how much more students you have, and a little bit of a cost increase, and just assume a modest 30%. The return on investment in a low-income country can be over 5 years as much as $20 million, and in a place like South Africa, in a middle-income country, like, for example, Saudi Arabia can be 74 million, and in a place like US, 123 million. So this is not only attracting more students. I can tell you, if my kids were young again and I had a choice between sending them to a regular school or a school that has deployed this campus-wide, I know where I'm going to send my kids. And I would actually be able to even pay a little premium. So now, in this case, it's almost too good to be true. You can enjoy the grant that takes 99.2% out of the cost. You can reap the benefits that you can see here, although they may be a little bit different from this example. And combined, we together can make knowledge a human right, and we can make it accessible, available, and affordable. Now, I have a dream. I'm 61. I'm one of these guys that, yes, I've been quite blessed that I took my first company when I was public when I was 37. And financially, you know, I've accomplished the goals a long time ago, decades ago. But I have not succeeded. I would say, I wouldn't say the word failed, but virtual reality, augmented reality has always been technology that is about to happen, is around the corner. And the road here has been littered by many ups and downs, latest last year. Finally, I can look you all and sincerely say that we have now passed the chasm. This technology is there. Nothing. You can go to the internet and download it today. Today, you're still going to get the old version, but by the end of this month, you'll get access to the new version. And you can make it happen. And you're not a spectator in the AI-centric era. You are participating in the arena. And you are turning this technology to something good, something that will bring prosperity, happiness, and a purpose for us and our kids. Thank you for that. I appreciate your time. At this point, I will take some question. Meanwhile, Britta and Richie, if you make sure that Jan is ready with a video for the soft skills, the one that I didn't have time to upload this morning, so we can share how this looks when you generate an environment around it, the environment that is actually generated based on text, which is, by the way, a world first, where you can see a world skills interactive environment where everything has been generated with AI. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. If you want to learn more, take a picture there. Dan at Eon Reality. You can reach out to me if you want. I will make sure that someone is reaching out to you. If you want to apply for the grant, just send us an email and you'll be eligible for that. And on that note, I will open up for questions, if there are any questions. And maybe let me just look at the system here and let's see what's going on. In the text chat bot, maybe Britta or Richie, you can let me know if Jan is willing to and ready to join us and show the video. If not, if there's some issue there, we can always send it to you as a link. Any questions or thoughts? Anyone? No, let's see. I have a message here from Richie. Your screen is working. So it sounds like there are no questions, or maybe we haven't enabled those for now. Don't worry. It's all good. I'm here for you guys. It's still very early in the morning, but we will continue this journey. This journey has only begun. Looking forward to work with you and engage. And on that note, thank you so much. I'm going to look at attendees here, and I'm going to look at text. Oh, we have the video.
Hello. This is an experience about job interview. Candidates are asked to perform specific tasks or scenarios related to the job role, allowing interviews to assess their practical skills and decision-making capabilities. Observation. Interviews. Closely observe the candidate's behavior, body language, communication skills, and overall performance.
Hello, my name is David. I have experience in conflict resolution, and I'm excited to discuss how I can contribute to your organization.
Please explain a little bit about your conflict resolution experience.
Certainly. Throughout my career, I have actively resolved conflicts in various professional settings. I have a strong ability to understand different perspectives, facilitate open communication, and find mutually beneficial solutions.
How do you think you can contribute to our company?
With my experience in conflict resolution, I can contribute to your company by fostering a positive work environment, improving team dynamics, and minimizing conflicts. I'm available next weekend and would be happy to schedule a meeting to further discuss how I can contribute to your company.
This is your overview chart and your score is 70%. Click on Summary or Details Report for more information. Here is your detailed report. HR manager did right. 1. The HR manager greeted the job applicant in a polite and friendly manner, creating a positive first impression. Start Jeopardy challenge. Go to the object identified, then press Start. What is the act of capturing the audio or video of a job interview simulation for later review and analysis?
Recorded interview.
Wow, it was a surprise even for me. Thank you, Jan, for that excellent video. And in fact, if you notice, he actually combined two things. One was the soft skills, which was actually a twist, because normally I use the soft skills to test my own skills and see how those work. We did even a little bit beyond that. But also in the end, we saw the Jeopardy capability, which is part of the new assessment. Now, I know it was very short, so you may not have understood all the aspects, but that's what deep dives are for. So I know we are now exactly 5:59 a.m., so we are 2 hours into this, which is the allotted time. There are some, I see here that someone has raised their arms. Let's see here. No pending request. I'm sure you're going to have 100 questions once we hang up, but that's why email is for. Feel free to reach us. We will have those events every 2 weeks. We also do a recording of this, so you can share it. You'll get the link, so you can share it with your colleagues that were not able to participate. And I look forward to see you there. Thank you so much and all the best. Take care. Bye.